This week, shares of American Bitcoin, the Bitcoin mining firm co-founded by the sons of a former U.S. president, saw a wild ride. From a steep plunge to a partial recovery, investors and markets scrambled to process what's going on. Let's break it down. American Bitcoin went public in 2025 via a reverse merger with Gryphon Digital Mining through its parent Hut 8 Corp. Earlier in the year, the company raised roughly $220 million through a private placement, selling about 159 million shares. Under the terms of that placement, many of those shares were subject to a lockup, a period during which they could not be traded. That lockup expired this week. The result? A flood of newly tradable shares hitting the market, which triggered a sharp sell-off as many early investors decided to cash in. What is American Bitcoin and why the drop? American Bitcoin went public in 2025 via a reverse merger with Gryphon Digital Mining through its parent Hut 8 Corp. Earlier in the year, the company raised roughly $220 million through a private placement, selling about 159 million shares. Under the terms of that placement, many of those shares were subject to a lockup, a period during which they could not be traded. That lockup expired this week. The result? A flood of newly tradable shares hitting the market, which triggered a sharp sell-off as many early investors decided to cash in. The drop and partial recovery. On news of the unlock and heavy selling, the shares collapsed roughly 35%, 40%. Bloomberg, +2. Reuters, +2. By the next trading session, shares had recovered some ground, trading around $2.33 to $2.39, up from the low of $1.75. But even at $2.33, that's a far cry from the pre-unlock price of $3.60. The rebound suggests some investors are viewing the dip as a buying opportunity, or that some of the panic selling has subsided. What does this mean? More shares still to unlock. Volatility ahead. According to company remarks, this was only the first major unlock. More pre-merger shares will become freely tradable soon. The management warns that the market could remain choppy as the new supply finds buyers. Importantly, executives, including those linked to the founding and to the high-profile founding family, say they did not sell their holdings as part of this unlock. But from a market psychology standpoint, when a large block of shares becomes tradable, even without insider selling, the mere flood of supply can depress prices, especially in a volatile sector like crypto mining / wow. Broader context, crypto sentiment / market headwinds. The drop of American Bitcoin comes amid a broader slump in crypto and risk assets. For example, Bitcoin itself recently fell sharply, removing much of its 2025 gains, adding pressure on crypto-related equities. Macro weakness makes investors even more sensitive to share unlock events. Even if business fundamentals remain intact, markets react to supply dynamics and sentiment swings. Why? What to watch next? What it means for investors. Track upcoming unlock dates. Each unlock could again add supply and pressure on share price. Watch the broader crypto market, especially Bitcoin's price. A bounce there could lift sentiment for mining-related firms. Pay attention to trading volume and volatility. High volume plus bad sentiment equals recipe for wild swings. And consider the long-term view. If you believe in Bitcoin mining and the underlying fundamentals of American Bitcoin. This could be a chance to accumulate at lower cost, though with risk. Second block quote. American Bitcoin's sharp drop and partial rebound highlight how volatile and unpredictable markets linked to crypto can be. Whether this becomes a turnaround or another wave of weakness depends on how investors handle the next unlocks and whether crypto sentiment recovers. Stay tuned. Period. Link. Period. All I.